Hey guys, back with some more Bazaar, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the state of the game and I guess the future of the game from my point of view, which is informed, not necessarily fully, like I don't have any secret insider information or anything like that, but I guess just my perspective of the game, how it's been going recently, how the community is, and then how I think it's going to go in the future as well. Just a quick reminder to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. It really does help out a lot, and I do like to see the channel grow, even if we do move away from the Bazaar eventually. I still love the game, just as a preface. Like you can see, I'm legend. I still play the game. I love the game. I have concerns, but I also think that they've made some positive changes recently. I guess we'll go over the pros and the cons, and we'll have a look at some recent news, and I guess how the game has changed and what they're trying to do in the future. Now, I thought I'd start with the positives. So they said relatively recently, at the start of this month, that they're basically aiming to improve how they share their plans moving forward. So basically from now on, and they've had a good track record so far after this, they want to share their plans. And so instead of just releasing a patch and just releasing patch notes, they basically are, sharing what they are trying to do, trying to share, I guess, the vision of the devs and talk about how the game is changing moving forward. I'm not going to cover all of this. I think in general, I think the changes that they've made to the actual game is good. I kind of want to talk more about meta things rather than the game and, card and balance and things like that. So another, I think, step in the right direction is the pricing and what they've done with it. People's initial reaction to the pricing on Steam was that it was quite expensive. $39.99 US is pretty expensive. And yeah, the reaction to this was not great. And it really, to be completely honest with you, a lot of it was because they didn't share their plans. They announced the fact that they were changing the pricing on this with not a lot of notice. I believe it was maybe just over a week or under, around that mark. So announcing that the game isn't free to play anymore, as well as announcing the fact that, the way that the pricing is changing, the price pass, the subscription's changing, the way that Heroes as a DLC is changing as well. There wasn't a lot of time. So from that, them sharing their plans is a good thing. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction, and I think that was the source of a lot of frustrations from the player base. So, the pricing is also good, and the fact that they shared this is also good, and they have also given refunds to everyone who bought the game on Steam at this initial price point. So basically, everyone who bought the game, basically at this larger price, gets that discount. And yeah, I think this is super positive. They have basically been announcing, the decision making going forward. And yeah, like they've worked with Steam and they've been able to get a refund to all the community members who paid $40 for the base game prior to their pricing update. And yeah, basically they're just talking about, I guess at the start of the month, they talk more about the vision for the game. Which is a positive thing. And I also can appreciate, I guess, as someone who is willing to pay the subscription, who has the disposable income, I think the direction of having Heroes as a paid part of the game is a good outcome, at least for myself. Obviously, for people who are priced out of that, that is not good. And the fact that there isn't a gem option anymore means that it is a little bit less accessible. However, I think that they've kind of adjusted for that, considering that the base price of the game is significantly lower now. I'm not 100% sure what the impact is for everyone, so let me know what you think about that. And now we'll move on to another segment. So, an ex-staff member of the Tempo team basically created a post on a alternate Bazaar server, one that is a little bit, less moderated, I believe, and this is a deleted post as well. So they made this post 3 months ago, basically reviewing the actual Discord server, and we'll have a look at this one as well, but this one is the one that I want to focus on. So this one is a previous staff member. You can see that they're on a call. Reynad, a figure, muted in live. Zuzu, a bunch of the team. So, they prove all of this. And basically they were going to make a video, but essentially they just want to talk about the state of the game and the vision of the Tempo team. So, like I was saying, yeah, the game is still fun. The art is still beautiful. The fact that it's, asynchronous, no pressure battles are amazing as well. And yeah, if fun is all that matters to you, you're pretty much the game's target audience right now. It's a really amazing auto battler, rogue-like, hero builder. So I think that it is, I guess, the game itself is in a really good place. So this is where it gets a little bit funky, right? So technical difficulties, yes, have plagued the Bazaar since the closed beta and well into its release. Now, this did impact some players less than others, but, for a lot of people, they just couldn't launch the game ever. And, the team did try to resolve these issues, but it didn't get fixed for everyone. Now, it is a lot better, now, but I do find myself agreeing with them that the support function for the Bazaar isn't great. It is a ticketed system, but yes, they have a huge backlog, basically. And with the layoffs recently, they don't have a massive social team now, which basically means that the backlog is just going to get larger and larger. In theory, I don't have any insight into this, but this is just something that I'm saying. So basically, so the community, I don't really know what Evil Space Bunny did. I hope you lose a sock to the washing machine. I don't get that. But I guess with the layoffs, they were able to change the price point of the game. Don't know how that works. I don't get it. But yeah, so the next thing is the community. And I'll talk about the general community in terms of the Discord, the Reddit, things like that, the way that they moderate things as well. So, yes, the community is very well behaved. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. The game is amazing and everyone is having fun. They don't like receiving criticism at all. Now, we can see that this post was deleted, and this post definitely wouldn't fly in the actual official Play the Bazaar Reddit as well. But it is essentially, they just remove what they don't like. So you can criticize the game, basically, but if it's unwanted feedback in quotations, you'll get banned, basically, and the post will be deleted and things like that. There are a lot of posts that get deleted on Reddit, and people talk about it all the time, where, I guess that's really the issue with this game. Like, they've taken feedback, I guess the fact that they're sharing, updates in the future going forward is a good thing, but it is still like this. Now, it's the same thing on Discord, where basically, Reynad does come in sometimes and just ban people that would criticize, and he would hop into the general chat sometimes and talk, and I guess would get frustrated with people who would be talking with him and start criticizing the game. And yeah, so it's just a lot of censorship. I think from my vision, kind of the general message of this video was that the game itself is really great. The way that it functions mostly, the fact that it's an auto battler, the balance of the game, all of that, it's still really fun. But yeah, the censorship, the community, the team behind it, and just the, you know, month in, month out, crazy radical changes that they sometimes make are not great. And yeah, moving on to this next segment, will you enjoy the updates and new content? Yes, if you can participate in it. The new content for the Bazaar is awesome. Yes. The devs, the artists, the folks making the videos, they hadn't fired him when I first wrote it. They're all killing it, and it's a big reason why the game stays so fresh and so cool. So, yeah, they've obviously changed the way that they do things. The monthly refresh of the game in terms of a full new season, two new expansions, and sometimes a new character was obviously way too frequent, and it wasn't manageable for them. And yes, obviously, they've had a lot of issues with the monetization of their game, which they've improved upon. I don't know whether I'd say that it's perfect, but it's definitely a lot better than what it was. But I think the problem that a lot of people have is how much they jumped around on it. And yeah, it's often cited as the biggest issue with the Bazaar. And even they've said that it's too big for them to cover here in enough detail. I have talked about it in another video when they announced the release on Steam and the non-free-to-play announcement as well. Now, yeah, it's kind of the gist of the post, and yeah, quick shout out to Leah. This is an amazing post that does talk about the game and the state that it's in. Now, since this has been released, obviously they edited it a bunch. A lot of the team has been laid off. A lot of the creative side, the social side, has been released, and it is in an interesting place. I don't think the game has moved around enough and changed enough for us to see how much that has really changed, but I think that it isn't really positive for the longevity of the game. I guess we'll be able to see as time goes on, because, you know, if I click on here and I have a look, because the game hasn't been out on Steam for ages, it's a steady decline, but you could also just say that that's seasonal as well. I guess we'll see how it goes, basically. Yeah, and that's everything to do with this post. So, everyone knows Reynad, who plays the game. Obviously, he's the face of the game. He's the CEO. He does have a bit of a reputation. I guess even previous to the Bazaar, he was known as, it's a bit cringe to say this, but he was a bad boy. He was the bad boy of Hearthstone, and I guess he's continued that. I've never had any personal experience with Reynad, but at least from, I guess, a relatively neutral party as someone who loves the game, still, I think his behavior hasn't been amazing. I think that he doesn't seem to care for the community, and he is just quite abrasive in general, and I don't think he behaves in a way that makes the game look good. So we can see here, this was upon the initial announcement of them moving away from free-to-play, and the Steam announcement as well. I'm not going to put up the pay-to-win slur thing. Everyone knows that one. But this one, I think, kind of indicates his, general, just, I guess, aggressiveness and his reputation. Especially, even in the Bazaar Discord, he's known for just banning people. And yeah, so many bots, like last time we announced anything monetization related. He seems to have this general disdain for people who criticize the game in any way, shape, or form. And yeah, I don't really like that, to be honest with you. And I don't think it bodes well for the future of the game when you have someone who doesn't seem to learn from their actions and consistently behaves in this way that is really, I hate to say unprofessional, but that's kind of what it is. He's not an esports player anymore. He is the CEO of a company that, you know, provides a game, provides a good to an audience, and we love the game, but, you know, we want the game to be better, and we try and communicate that. And, you know, sometimes, yes, people will be a little bit abrasive when they're talking about the game. They'll be a little bit rude, and, you know, they might step over the line. But I would say from a lot of the stories that I've seen on Reddit, it feels like a general disdain for the audience, for the people who play the game, for the people who complain. Maybe it's because they get a lot of complaints that they're sick of it, but I think that's also kind of indicative of the state of the game as well. So this is slightly more just a different thing. So talking about the imbalanced expansions in the first third of your post are not in the game. Everyone who owns a hero owns all the cards simultaneously for that hero. The last third of your post is simply a lie. The game has never done anything NFT related. This lie has been spread by Redditors for years with the intention to smear the game because NFT equals bad. There were never NFTs or NFT features, nor was anything ever announced having to do with NFTs. Still, people with bad intentions lie about this to this day with the goal of rewriting history. If you need to lie to find fault in the game, that says a lot about your intent. On Reddit on Discord, we do ban users that attack other users, devs, or overtly lie/spread misinformation. I'd say yes, this does happen, but I'd say that they also do ban other users that aren't necessarily attacking other users, devs, or spreading misinformation. Another shock story under this post from Leah. Not going to call out any names, but a month or two ago I was banned from the Bazaar Discord because after a mod told me I should be thankful for losing, I said to them, I don't appreciate being spoken to in a condescending way. This mod immediately timed me out for 24 hours, so I made a complaint saying this was such an unfair punishment, especially for a first offense. The same mod then said, see you in space, cowboy, and perma-banned me from the entire Discord. Now, they tried to go through it all. And yeah, it's a Discord run by a business, and it's very mismanaged by people who do power trip, including Reynad. And I think that that's a significant problem, and it's been the cause of a lot of the frustrations for people. Is just, I guess, the general mismanagement of the game. Now, I want to get into briefly the state of, I guess, the YouTube community. Like, I'm by no means a massive YouTuber, but I used to consume a lot of content on the Bazaar, so I would say I was kind of tapped into the people who are releasing content, and I just kind of want to share the state of the Bazaar on YouTube and Twitch as well, I guess. Now, first and foremost, Kriparian, you know, he is the biggest creator for the Bazaar. Everyone watches his Twitch, everyone watches his YouTube videos, and he still makes videos on the Bazaar, and he still makes them daily. So good news in that sense, in terms of like an active content creator that makes these videos, but it isn't the same for everyone else. And just a quick disclaimer, this is in no way like a call out on people who aren't making Bazaar content anymore. Like, I myself will probably pivot away from the Bazaar for a little while. I just kind of wanted to examine the state of the Bazaar on YouTube, really. So, Snooey, another massive content creator who covered the Bazaar a lot, right? It was, you know, his game of choice. Now, I don't know whether this is permanent, but at least for the past, you know, week and a half, he hasn't posted the Bazaar. I don't know if this is permanent, whether he's just playing Legends of Runeterra now. But another content creator who, you know, doesn't play the Bazaar anymore. Now, another example of this is Retromation, one of my personal favorite creators. He has moved back to his usual roguelike, you know, uploads, right? He just plays roguelikes now, and he hasn't, at least from what we can see, played the Bazaar in 3 weeks. This video here, my stupidest Stell cook yet, the Bazaar. And another example of this, similar deal for Mr. Fruit Uncut, which is Mr. Fruit's alternate YouTube channel. hasn't played in 3 weeks. Again, I don't know whether any of these are like permanent or, maybe they'll come back to the game, I don't know. And I guess moving through some of the slightly smaller creators, but nonetheless important. Currently, Kevin, one of my favorites, made some awesome guide content. Now they didn't quit because of the Bazaar itself. They had the post-viral syndrome. But again, another person down. I just don't see a lot of Bazaar content. And another one of my favorites, Momo versus the Bazaar. He still posts, but like this is no insight into anyone. Like he doesn't post as regularly as he used to. I don't know whether it's because he's busy, but we're starting to see a trend, right? A lot of the larger creators aren't playing the game anymore. And, a lot of the smaller creators, even including myself, aren't playing the game as frequently or posting the game as frequently either. Another content creator, Incoherent, or rather Incoherent, also hasn't uploaded any Bazaar content in 3 weeks. Now, he has said that he's doing Silksong stuff, so this isn't any mark against the actual game of the Bazaar. But, there's a trend here, right? Like a lot of, what I would say are pretty prominent YouTubers aren't uploading as often. But there are ones that are. Pun No Fun, one of my favorites, also the best in the thumbnail game, is still uploading Bazaar content every day. And yeah, I still love it. And I think it's great to see that people are still enjoying the game. And I hope that it stays this way. Wolf is another one of my favorite content creators, and he still uploads as well. It has become less frequently. Again, I'm not sure whether this is due to, personal life things or the game itself. I'm not sure. But again, it's a trend that we see. He is still uploading, but it does feel like there's a general decrease in people and YouTubers who are creating content for the game. Now, I admittedly am more busy than I used to be, which is, a lot of what to do with like me not posting as much. But at the same time, I guess a lot of not resentment has built up, but I have gotten slightly sick of the way that the game has been running. And just, the general mismanagement of the game. I still play the game though. I still love the game itself, and I wish the best on everyone involved. I hate to be the resident doomer and like just kind of be super negative about things. There are positive elements, but I'd say for the most part, I honestly don't see an amazing future for the game, or as much as I would wish it upon it, because I love the game so much. But yeah, a little bit more of a somber video, but nonetheless, like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. I am probably going to be pivoting away from content about the Bazaar. I'll still make content about it, but I would like to include some other things in here as well. I've been playing a lot of other games recently, which I would love to play and post. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.